Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Training Tuesday. I'm your host, Jacklyn, and let's get started. So, I'm at my stable dashboard, and you might notice here there's one injured horse. So, I just wanted to quickly take a look at this horse because this was actually the graded stake runner that we trained last week. I actually trained the day before we had our session last week, but I did mention this horse. Unfortunately, this horse ended up getting injured in his race. And what happened was exactly what I feared. He wasn't gaining enough health and energy, but unfortunately, I got really tied up with things going on last week, and I wasn't able to check before the official race was created, so I wasn't able to scratch in time. And he went to post with 16 health and 17 energy. So that racing at 16, whether it's one or both stats, definitely increases your risk of injury. So even though we trained before the race, like we're supposed to, but like we giving him the decent handily workouts between the races and things like that, the health just wasn't quite there, and the dice didn't roll in our favor, and he ended up getting injured. So um, he ran a pretty dismal effort, finished dead last, and came up with an injury. Now, if you ever have an injured horse, you can always scroll down to the bottom of their page, and their injury history will be listed here, which will include their current state of injury. So this horse has buck shins, which is a 21-day injury. It happened on June 15th and will heal on June 5th, which is in approximately 2 weeks. Now, I tend to skip ahead. As you notice, there's only one horse currently injured in the stable. I like to use the vet clinic. So there's an option that's available here. You can also click to the vet clinic through my horses and vet clinic to get there from a different view. And what you can do is you can just click on this, and for credits, you can actually reduce the injury days. So obviously, the more days, the more it's going to cost. So it's 1 credit per 7 days of the injury, and then you can reduce the injury entirely. What will also happen is their form will likely drop a little bit. Their injury risk will also be reduced quite a bit as well. So it can be a good way to sort of reset them, and then you can carry on and train them from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and give this horse a vet clinic treatment to knock off 19 days of that injury. I'm not too worried about having done that up to this point because they will still regain health and energy. Back in the day, they didn't. They stayed at like 10-10, and it was a pretty long recovery process at that point. So at least we didn't really lose any time, but it still cost me the same as if I would have done it a few days ago. So anyways, I'm going to reduce the injury and charge 3 credits for that. So now you can see the form took a bit of a nosedive down to 10%. Injury risk has been reduced significantly. So what'll end up happening is we'll let this horse get back up to 2020, and then I'll come back with a 2 furlong work followed by a 4 furlong work, both of them handily, to get that form back up. And it'll probably take about 2 or 3 workouts before the horse is in a state ready to race, but at least we got a bit of a jump start on time. And I'm happy to make that investment with these guys just to help them get them back in the races quicker instead of just taking up stall space. All right, so with that, let's go train some horses. I'll take a quick look here and just show you as well. I only have one graded stake runner for the week. I had a bunch that were sitting green, much like these ones. So I had a lot of hope going into the weekend, but then they all sort of got bumped out at the last minute. So we have one horse coming in for the Pepsi Commands Cup. We'll take a quick look at this horse actually. Um, I did have another runner, but her form or his form was very, very low. So I tried training, wasn't going to get to where we needed to be. It was a Saturday stake, so I really didn't want to push it. So I ended up just scratching the horse and leaving it at that. So Fluid Love is sitting ready to go. The only thing is he's 22nd on the also eligible list, and the stake is on Sunday. So we'll just cross our fingers and see what ends up happening. This is one of those horses that's had a couple of rough goes of it, but he's, a hard, heavy knocker, very, very consistent at 128 ratings. May not be enough for a grade stake, but, we'll see if we can give him a shot and see what he can do. All right, so with that, let's go train some horses finally. So I'm going to open up my training preferences and go down to 2-year-olds and update that. So now we can select our 2-year-old. It's not a whole lot to train today, pretty light day. Yesterday was really, really light. I only had, I think, two of them to train or so like that. So this horse just raced a little while ago, has had a workout since then. So I'm going to give a jog and then probably run again. I looked because with them being 2-year-olds, 99 form, if I'm still trying to develop them a little bit more, I would give them this horse a breezing workout just to try and get that stat increase if I can. But this horse is already raced. I think I'm comfortable to continue racing this horse, so I'm not gonna take any more time to train. I'm just gonna keep running. Um, this is another similar spot. Ran a 118 last time out. I'm pretty happy with that. We're gonna get a jog and get another race into that horse as well. I think most of these are going to be in the same boat. This one looks like she's ready to run. She just put in a 108. So we'll do a jog there. This horse here, same boat pretty much as the others. We'll do a jog and run back after off of that effort. And we have an 86% form here. So we'll breeze. If you are just starting to tune in and or maybe it hasn't really made a lot of sense up to this point, typically, my rule of thumb is if they are 80% form or above, I will give them a breezing workout. And if they are below 80%, I'll give them a handily workout. Handily gives a higher impact to form. So if they're at 80 or above and we give them a handily workout, their form will actually go over the top and decline. So we don't want to see that. We want to see that breezing. Just bring it up a little bit closer to 100. If they're really close to 100, like say a 97 or even a 92, then a jog is probably the best bet there. Unless they've had a lot of jogs or swims in a row, then I might throw in a breeze just to sort of help break that up a bit. But if you have also been watching, I also tend to just keep jogging and jogging and jogging until they exit a race with really low form and then correct from there. So that's always an option too. So that horse needs a little bit more time. This horse here looks like we can just toss into a race. See what we have coming up. There's a fast race on Friday, so we'll just go for that. Insider threat. I think we can go for an allowance race with this horse as well. And what do we have coming up? Let's see. I don't really want to run yielding because I think that's our poor thing. So we'll go with good. We'll enter that allowance race. Mitigation. This is going to be the first race for this horse. So looking at these workouts, 108, 110, 99. Now these are higher than usuals, but I would guess around 103, 102 at the least. And then we'll go from there. So if you see this arrow, it means you have the inflation indicator, workout inflation indicator, which is a handy thing to have because it gives you a better idea of what that workout really was. So if a workout has an up arrow, um, this means that the workout was higher than usual. So it means there were some other extraneous conditions that contributed to the rating being a little bit higher than what the horse actually earned. So think of it as maybe the wind was helping push them to go a little bit faster, or the track was really hard and fast, so the horse ran a little bit faster where there was less resistance, or the rider was not very good at doing their job and went a little bit too quickly. Those are all possible things. The other side is there's also lower than usual. So there's an arrow that points down, and that means that maybe there was a headwind that was slowing the horse down the stretch, or the track was really deep that day, which slowed the horse down as well. Again, rider could have not done a very good job as well as. So there's a lot of different factors that come in there. It's not a reflection of the horse, it's an outside sort of uncontrollable condition that makes this higher or lower than usual. So what this means is that the rating that the horse actually earned could be anywhere from 1 to 5 points different from what that rating is. So higher means, so an up arrow means that this rating could be 1 to 5 points higher than what the horse actually earned. So the horse could have earned anywhere from a 107.2 to a 102, math is hard today. A 10, what would be 5, 103.2. So that's sort of the range there of what that horse might have earned. And the same for this one. So this was lower than usual. So the horse could have actually earned anywhere from 100 to 104 rating. So that's just a little background on that. So now we'll take a look here and see what we can find for this horse. Lots of sloppy. I think we could try sloppy listed stake. Why don't we go for that? We'll see how that goes. Saturn Star, this horse looks like we can just toss back into another race. We'll go for fast. And this horse is definitely ready to run again off of that one. That's a nice workout. And you'll see there's no arrow here. So this is a 109 flat, which is great. We have good visibility into what the horse earned. So why don't we try to find something? I'm going to look for something a little bit out because of that IR being a little bit high. So I'm going to try to find something that's maybe Wednesday. Yeah, we'll do Wednesday next week. And I think that looks like a good race for that horse. So fast is fair for this horse, but I'm not too worried, especially for 2-year-olds. There's so many other factors at play for them. So, I know I was skipping the poor for one horse, but I'm not opposed to running on fair as well. All right, so all the older horses now. Not a lot to train today either, which is kind of nice. A bit of an easy day. So we'll just update this one. So this is a jog, 98% form. Doesn't need much work. 92% form, same thing, jog. That's what they had last time. My guess is they're on a bit of a trend with that, but that's fine. They just need a jog and we'll enter the race. High IR, so if they're in 80% or above, they automatically get a jog anyways because we need to bring that IR down. If you give a horse with 80% or above IR a workout or a gallop, you will have a bad session. So I don't recommend doing that. I think a strong jog can also do the same thing. So just keep that in mind when you're training those horses that have red injury risk. 94%, we will jog, and this horse will get a breeze, a jog for 98% form, and this one will switch to breezing. All right, then we'll train these horses. And then let's enter some races. So this horse was having a really, really rough go of it, and I dropped down to 100K last time out and finished second. So still not good enough to win, but finally hit the board, which is an improvement. So I think I'm going to stick with 100K for this horse for now, and we'll just see how things keep going there. Crimson Planet. Ran second allowance last time out. Like sloppy, and I saw a lot of sloppy tracks coming up, so that fits out perfectly. We'll enter that sloppy race. We're good to go. This horse is nominated for a graded stake, so I'm going to open this horse in a new tab. We'll come back to that one later and just see where he's sitting. Another one that's nominated. I'm opening these in new tabs because I like to see where they are in the nomination list if I feel like I need to get them a race before the weekend, or if I should enter them in a race as a backup next week in case I don't make the field, things along those lines. So we'll take a look in a sec. Let's see this horse. Didn't run super race last time out, but I'm not going to drop off of that. We'll go for an allowance fast. Good to go. This horse here, we'll find another allowance race for this one. And I don't really want to wait till Wednesday next week to run this horse, so I'm just going to put her into a yielding race and we'll just see how it goes. This horse also nominated, and Mighty Good Slow. Let's see what we can find. Lots of sloppy. Let's just go for sloppy. Fair sloppy, so we'll go with that. There we go. We trained and entered. So now what I'm going to do is pull up Dr. Pepper. So this horse is nominated. So this is why I do this, because I still haven't removed my old nominations. So some of the ones that I've already closed haven't made the fields. They're still listed as nominated. This way I can double check. So this horse didn't make the field, so we might as well just go ahead and enter this horse in a race. I mean, could have another jog technically with the 92. What was I trying to nominate for? Celebration Mile. I don't think there's anything else graded stake-wise for this race, this horse for the year. So I'm just gonna go and race. We'll try and pick up some earnings with this horse. Although there's really no races till Wednesday, so unless we go for sloppy. So I'm gonna sit on this horse and give him a jog, and then we'll find another race next week, and we'll be good to go there. Liquid Sanction. This horse is nominated, but it's 25th. Ouch. So I think we need to get this horse a race. It's a Wednesday stake, so I'm not too worried about running. Like even this weekend, the horse should have plenty of time to recover. There's a perfect race on Friday, firm track. Let's just go for that. And hopefully we can get a win and have those earnings contribute to getting into the field. And then there's another one, nominations closed, didn't make the field. So we'll just go ahead and enter this horse into a race. And we will go for We'll do sloppy on Saturday. We'll see how that goes. And that is that. We have trained and entered all of our horses, and we're all done for the day. So that took a little bit longer than last week, but we covered off a few other things as well as an injured horse. So I hope that was helpful. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out anytime. I'm more than happy to help whenever I can. And I wish you the best of luck in the races.